During the same week in November 2012, Americans voted for their president. The Chinese were informed about their new Politburo leaders, and the Coptic Orthodox believers had their identity of their new pope revealed to them by a blindfolded boy who picked his name from 3 laid on an altar. It was a rather nice quirk of timing that highlights the different ways in which nations and churches are governed. Leadership styles divide the church now more than ever. The quaint method used by the Coptic Church is actually the most biblical based, because it's roughly how the 12th apostle was picked after Judas's death. Other churches rely either on voting by members, to varying degrees, or on the decision of existing leaders. This difference creates a dividing line that cuts deeper than theology because of what it says about the value of individual members. It also creates a division between denominations that is difficult to bridge. As with most church divisions, disagreements about church leadership largely occurs because of Scripture's lack of clarity on the subject. The New Testament names several titles, many of which we still use, and their Greek and Latin forms are also used in church terminology. Deacon, that's Greek diakonos, and Latin minister. Elder, that's the Greek presbyteros, and bishop, Greek episkopos, and shepherd, Latin pastor, and father, Greek and Latin pater, or ultimately papa or pope. The term apostle is only used in a few churches because it refers to the church's founders and occasionally to actual messengers. Shepherd is used only once for people other than Jesus and appears to be a role rather than a title. And, according to Acts, elders are the same as bishops. So this leaves 2 categories of early church leaders, deacons and elders or bishops. We might want to conclude that this demonstrates clearly the standard leadership structure of the early church, that it was based on these 2 types of leaders. But if that was the case, we'd expect the 2 types to occur regularly together, whereas in fact, the only clear pattern in the Bible is that Paul likes to use the word deacons, and other epistles refer to elders. The likely explanation for this confusion is that church governance was still evolving in New Testament times. As time went on in the Latin Church, the Greek word for elder was replaced by the Latin word for priest, sacraros, and the Greek word for bishop was replaced with the Latin papa. And finally, the papa of Rome became the Catholic Pope, whilst others became patriarchs of various Orthodox churches. The Bible doesn't tell us which system of church governance is best, but it does affirm the concerted opinion of the body of believers. According to Jesus, the whole congregation should be the final arbiter in matters of church discipline. And the first deacons were chosen by the body of believers before being appointed by the apostles. There's even a hint in Acts 14 that elders were elected by the congregation, as the word that most Bibles translate as appoint is actually the normal Greek word for to vote. Personally, I think it's wise to use some system of voting by the congregation to establish leaders. I especially like the double vote system when choosing a minister, as it encourages unity. In the first vote, everyone supports whomever they prefer best. In the second vote, everyone considers whether God was speaking through the majority and whether they could affirm that choice. This often results in a unanimous vote, which is a wonderful way to start a ministry. God bless.